Hey there, welcome to Mindful Wellness. I'm Valerie Lundgren, and I'm going to be sharing with you some tips on mindfulness today. My top 7 mindfulness tricks. So, when we think of mindfulness, I think a lot of people go into the mindset that it's all about meditation and getting into like a Zen Buddhist mode. When mindfulness is actually just being present and aware of your body and your surroundings in the moment. So, in my mindfulness practice, I teach you how to be more aware of your body and your surroundings, and these little tips will help you harness those things. So, the first thing is breath awareness. So when we are focused on our breath, we can bring in a lot of mindfulness. And that's where mindfulness really works the best, is when we start incorporating our breath and really are paying attention to our breath. So I'm going to take you guys through a quick mindful breathing exercise. So if you want to get comfortable. All right, go ahead and you can close your eyes if it makes you feel comfortable. You can keep them open. And just be here in this center, in this moment. Take a nice big deep breath in. And let it go. Take another nice big deep breath in. And let it go. And while you're sitting here, go ahead and keep breathing while I'm talking, and just focus. In a couple minutes, we're going to just focus on our breath coming into our chest and coming out. And when you're focusing on your breath, you're ignoring all the thoughts that might be coming forward, ignoring my voice, and instead bringing awareness just to your breath coming in and out of your body. Okay, so keep breathing in and out. And you can continue just breathing. And if it helps you stay more mindful and focused on the breath, you can count your breath counts. So breathing in to the count of 4, breathing out to the count of 5. That will help you stay mindful with the breath, because it's very easy for us to breathe and then we start thinking, oh, there's dishes to do, or there's kids to take care of, or there's something, or I said something silly today and I wish I wouldn't have said that. Whatever it might be, those thought bubbles are going to keep coming at us. And so the best thing for us to do is to continue doing our breath, but doing the breath count will really help you stay mindful and present with just the breath and keeping you aware and calm in that space and in this moment. So that is our breath, our mindful breathing. Doing this practice every day is really important. You could do it right away in the morning, before you start your day, before you grab your cup of coffee even, or I usually do it while I'm with my coffee. I'm outside and I do some mindful breathing and just check in and be centered with my body. And you can use this breath work throughout the day. So if you kind of notice you are off thinking about other things and you're not really centered, you're just worried or overwhelmed, just take a moment and bring yourself back to that breathing and be mindful about your breath. Another thing you can do is you could set an alarm on your phone that goes off every, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it might be. And that will remind you to do a mindful breathing exercise in those moments. This is something that is done in a lot of actually Buddhist monasteries, and they do a little bell chime, and that brings, everybody has to stop exactly what you're doing. So if you're in the middle of cooking, or if you're in the middle of washing the dog, you'd stop what you're doing and you would just do breathing and focus on your breath in that moment. So it's kind of a cool exercise to try. I definitely encourage you to try it and see how it goes. See if it works for you and if it helps you feel a little bit more regulated and centered. So my next one, number 2, is walking. So how are we mindful when we're going on walks? Well, we have to incorporate our breath. So we're bringing our breath into our walks. But when we're mindfully walking, we are feeling the earth underneath our feet. And we're really being present with our feet being in contact with the earth and us being mindful about our steps and where we're going and our surroundings. I think for the most part, a lot of people, myself included, when we go for walks, we're just all about the goal, about the end goal. So for me, I've got my dogs. I got to go on a walk and get these dogs out of the house, burn their energy, and get them going, right? Instead of being present in that moment, I'm focused on a goal. So if you can go on mindful walks, this is a way for you to connect with nature. It's a way for you to connect with the earth, and it's a way to connect with yourself. So I would recommend when you're going out and doing a walk without the dogs, maybe just be focused on you and your surroundings and your feet touching the ground. And you walk very slowly, generally when you're doing a mindful walk, and you're breathing in slowly and you're breathing out slowly and just being centered and focused again with just your walking. Another one is about movement, and this is doing any kind of yoga or Tai Chi. So when you're being mindful with that, you're connecting more with your body and your breath, and you're going to have greater flexibility, and you're going to have more vitality and energy moving through your body when you are incorporating mindfulness into your yoga and Tai Chi practice. For the most part, most of the time, people who do yoga are experiencing some sort of mindfulness because we're bringing awareness to our breath when we're doing our stretches. And same with Tai Chi. When you're moving and moving around with Tai Chi, you're breathing and moving with the energy. So these are other ways that you can incorporate mindfulness into your daily practices. Another one that might kind of seem odd is conversations. So having conversations with family members or friends, you might have moments where you start talking bad about other people in the conversations, kind of gossiping. Bring a little bit of mindfulness into those conversations. And by that I mean, instead of engaging in any kind of gossip or bad talking of other people, bring in a space of being mindful and present of how that energy makes you feel and how you would talk to that person if you're gossiping, maybe with family, friends. How would that work if you were having those conversations with them? Would you be able to say those words in front of them? Would you feel good about that? So be mindful of your conversations and how you're having conversations with people. Are the conversations loving and invoking caring and kindness? Or are they bringing just negativity and unhappiness? So being mindful of your words and how you have conversations with people will really help change your outlook and others when you are having those moments. And then when you are having that change in mindfulness of conversations, the people you're talking to will maybe start recognizing that too, and they'll start shifting their change and their voice. Another one, I kind of touched base on it with walking, is nature. So how can we be mindful with nature? I recommend getting out in the woods if you can, once a week. If you can't get once a week, get out there at least once a month. Connecting to nature really is embodying mindfulness. If you can be present with nature and just listen to nature, you really will find a connection that is deep, soulful, and really opening to your whole body. So if you can, get out into nature, go for a walk up into the woods, sit outside and meditate if you can. These things will help you connect you and make you be a little bit more mindful. I like having moments of mindfulness where I can just sit outside and stare up at the clouds and have a moment of mindfulness with these clouds and really putting context to what you're visualizing. So I'll have moments with the clouds and I'll just look at them and think about how fluffy they are and, how much they're bringing to the sky and really giving like value to what is around you. So that's nature. The sixth one is, eating, mindfully eating. So what is that all about? Well, I'll show you. When we eat, especially in America, again, we have a goal, and our goal is just to feed ourselves, fuel our bodies, move forward. And we're very good about eating food in America. But if we can take a moment to actually be mindful about eating, we're going to actually slow our metabolism down. We're going to be more present with our food. We're going to open our taste buds. I mean, this really does work. Your taste buds will change. You'll appreciate foods differently. Things will taste better. And you become more connected again with the food, where it came from, how it's made, what nutrients it's actually giving you and how it's feeding your body and your soul, rather than just consume something for energy because my body needs the energy to keep me alive. Instead, we're consuming something that is just mindfully a part of us, that is something that's really good. So I've got a yummy piece of chocolate. You can do this with chocolate or an apple, anything you really want. But I suggest go ahead and grab a piece of chocolate and just take a tiny, tiny, tiny bite. All right, took a little sliver. I'm going to enjoy this. It's going to sit in my mouth. I can feel the little toffee bit that's in here rubbing up against my teeth. I can feel the dark, warm chocolate melting slowly in my mouth and dissipating. Now, if you're not eating chocolate and you're eating, let's say, an apple or something that you actually have to chew because the chocolate is melting, take a bite and take that moment. Really be with that food. Chew very slowly, very slowly. Be with the food. Taste the food. Really, think about the flavors that are there and the scent. Take a moment and smell it before you eat it. Really savor those moments in your mouth, and how long it takes you to eat doesn't matter. So just enjoy the food. It could take, 10, 15 minutes to eat one apple rather than 5 minutes of what we're used to. But that's okay. What we're trying to do is really be mindful about the food that's going in our body, be mindful about how it feels in our body, and, really enjoy that moment with the food that is feeding our whole body. So eating an apple, for example, is a great way to start with mindful eating, because it's a great, easy, take a bite, chew very slowly, be with that food. You can sit and journal in that moment and, I can really taste this within the apple, or I can feel the juices from the apple flowing down my throat. Really have a moment with that apple. When you do that, your senses are just awakened and you become more aware of the food and what you're consuming. And it does really help with your metabolism and weight loss as well. So food, that's another one, eating. And then my next one is the last one I have, number 7, is chores. This is going to kind of sound weird, right? But we all have to do our chores around the house: vacuuming, dishes, cooking, cleaning the bathroom, whatever it might be. Can you do those chores in a mindful state? Absolutely. I think when we get we just get kind of so habitual and so caught up in our, like, okay, this is what we're doing, da, 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 da. We don't take the moments to actually be mindful and present with the chores that we're doing. And so then we kind of have resentment or frustration that we have to do them. And when you're mindful and present, you can bring forward a sense of calm, peace, and serenity when you're doing your chores. So I like having those moments of doing my dishes. It brings a lot of clarity, but I'll do my dishes and I'm really sitting there focusing on how the soap smells and how the bubbles are bubbling in the sink and how this one dish is getting really clean because I'm wiping it back and forth and back and forth, and just really being with the dish. And in that moment, that is mindfulness. So you can do that with any chore. I know I like when I'm vacuuming and I can see the lines in the carpet and I can see things are getting cleaned up. That brings me joy. That's a sort of mindfulness and joy when you're in that moment of just being there instead of thinking about all the other things you need to do. I'm vacuuming, but I need to do this, 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 this. Instead, if you're fully present with the tasks that you're supposed to be doing or that are in hand, you'll accomplish those tasks with more love and more compassion and just with this whole sense of accomplishment, you know, when you can have that moment of peace and bring that forward. And a bonus number 8 is incorporating some sort of meditation into your practice. So meditation is different than mindfulness. Meditation is when we're sitting for 5 to hours and focusing on our breath or whatever it might be in that moment. So I'm going to take you guys through a quick just check in with your body meditation. This is just a quick body scan. And that way you can really feel the sense of our mindfulness breathing and how it all then incorporates into a nice, deeper meditation. So go ahead and get comfy. And I'm going to go ahead and walk you through this meditation real quick. Take a nice, big, deep breath in. Let it go. Breathe in through your nose. And out through your mouth. Continue to breathe deeply. Breathe in to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And out to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that you're mindful of your breath coming in and out of your body, I want you to take a moment and be mindful of your head. Do you feel any tension in your head today? Relax your eyebrows. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes. And now bring this awareness to your shoulders. If there's any tension in your shoulders, relax your shoulders a little bit more. Let them slide down deeper and deeper, allowing the shoulder blades to come together. Relaxing your chest. Relaxing your arms. Relaxing your diaphragm and stomach. Relaxing your hips. Relaxing your knees. Relaxing your ankles and feet. Take a nice big deep breath in and just release. Feel how relaxed your body is in this moment. Just focus on that. And whenever you're ready, you can wiggle those toes, wiggle those fingers. Bring your shoulders up to your ears and do a nice release. And shake it off. So there you go, you guys. I hope that was helpful for you. Some mindfulness tips. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Namaste and blessings to you.